Hi guys, I'm just finishing up my morning journaling and I had some pretty big revelations. So I thought I'd share them with you in case they might help somebody else. So this past weekend I attended a spiritual ceremony, and part of the preparation for that was they said they wanted us to wear light colored clothing. So in my mind that meant wear white. And I searched high and low for white clothing. Now, ladies, maybe you can help me out here. Finding white clothing after Labor Day is almost impossible. I know that sounds really funny, but it's true. It's not easy to find. And I became obsessed with finding white clothing, as if that would prevent me from participating fully in this ceremony. And I'm so grateful that I had the moment of clarity to write the person that I was working with to attend this ceremony, to say to her, you know, I'm getting myself wrapped around the axle here about this white colored clothing. Is this a big deal or no? And she wrote back, no, you know, just do your best. But what's most important is that you attend. And I then began to think about, okay, well, where else does that show up in my life? Where else do I become so fixated on what I think is supposed to happen that I actually miss the point? I miss the intention. You know, when I was in the military, we used to call it commander's intent. Am I in alignment with commander's intent? Or is this one of those rules where I absolutely must follow according to the letter of the law? Another thing that occurred to me is, where else do I actually make it, where else do I actually make it more strict than what was actually said? They said light colored clothing. I'm the one that made it mean white. They didn't. I did. And then I decided to follow a strict adherence to that. Like, where else do I do that? A lot. And then the other thing that I noticed is, how do I phrase this one? When I'm feeling most uncertain, most vulnerable, it's interesting that those of you that know me, like, I live this life of uncertainty. I live this life of do what I want, when I want, how I want, and I've created my life so that I can do that. But when I'm feeling most uncertain, those are the times when I fall back to rules. And not just rules, but strict interpretation of these rules to somehow give myself comfort. Now, what I find amusing about that is rules feel incredibly uncomfortable to me. After 18 years in the military, they're incredibly uncomfortable. I feel tension. I feel stifled. I feel caged. The complete opposite of radiance. The complete opposite of who I am in my core. And so, interesting that I would choose to go there in a time of vulnerability and uncertainty. And so the question that I'm left with is, in that moment, how could I choose to surrender more? How could I choose to surrender to the uncertainty and allow myself to not go to rules, not go to strict adherence to anything in particular, but just surrender to the experience? So I hope my morning revelations have helped some of you. And I hope you'll share it with others. And I hope that you'll also participate in a conversation with me. Tell me what your thoughts are about all of this. When has some of these things shown up for you? How does this impact your life? How do you know that you're experiencing tension and you're getting away from your radiance? And how can you bring yourself back? So I hope this has been helpful for you this morning, and I look forward to chatting with you again on my next video. Take care. Have a great day.